Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Month of the Full Moon, here on Reaction and Review. Tonight, guys, I'm taking a look at a horror comedy from 2008. That movie is the Gingerdead Man 2, The Passion of the Crust. Wow, and I thought that my wordplay really sucked. That little fucking subtitle there is just painful. Now, for those of you who are catching this video before my review of the first Gingerdead Man, I guess I should kind of give you a little rundown quick. The movie was not that good. In fact, I believe I even questioned whether or not the damn thing can be considered a comedy. And since this thing's already stumbling out of the gate with a subtitle like The Passion of the Crust, I'm not totally certain if this thing's going to be any good. I do have my hopes, but those hopes are incredibly faint. But the only way for me to find out if this thing's any good is if I shut the hell up, I push play, and I just see if there's any hope of the Gingerdead Man 2 being at least marginally funny, because then at that point it'll be actually funnier than the first one, which wouldn't be a huge challenge, but still. So, without further ado, it's time to kick back, relax, and check out the Gingerdead Man 2, The Passion of the Crust. I guess I should make this point a little bit clear. I'm not the biggest fan of punk, music. Especially when it's this kind of bullshit, god-awful punk. I mean, it isn't even a good kind of punk music. Just God, listen to this shit. They have this garbage playing over the opening credits, guys. This is not a good way to start. Then again, also dedicating your first three minutes of the fucking movie to sum up the previous one probably wasn't a good idea either. Wow. A production so wooden it could give you splinters. I think I now know how to sum up the acting in this movie. It's so wooden it can give you splinters. Wow, I would really like to thank the writers for actually giving me ammo to use against them. That's fucking classy, dude. Would it be asking too much for something interesting to happen in this fucking movie? I am not even asking for something good at this point, guys. The movie's already about half over. I just want something interesting. And I fear that I'm not going to get that. Wow. We have the gay hair, stylist being killed by having a curling iron jammed up his ass, and yet it still isn't interesting. How the fuck do you make something this strange boring? Jesus, what the fuck kind of black magic went into making this where a kill this unique sucks?
You need an exorcist for anything as powerful as a haunted dildo.
What?
Scorsese's probably rolling
Haunted dildo. Never thought I'd hear those two words together, but I also now know that if I ever run into one, I need to at least get an exorcist, so you learn something new every day, huh? Alright, I totally understand that this is a minor gripe, but I don't see any reason why a low-budget film studio would have live ammunition on set. Just sort of thought I'd mention that, and yes, there is live ammo on the fucking set in this movie. It doesn't make any fucking sense to me, but then again, I know how to use logic, and the fuckers who wrote this don't. Well, guys, that was Gingerdead Man 2, The Passion of the Crust, and the movie goes out on the same bullshit song it opened with. No, shut up. Okay? So, where to even start with this thing? Why don't we start with the writing? I will say that the premise here is pretty good. And I'm saying that because they lifted it directly from a trauma film. I'm not even kidding, guys. This here's probably the only instance where I'll ever say that Full Moon's blatantly ripping off Trauma, which normally I would never even imagine that either studio would try to would try to rip off the other. But no, this thing is literally blatantly ripping off a trauma film from almost a decade ago, which was called Terror Firmer, which wasn't even a good movie to start with. So they basically are ripping off a shitty film, and they're just dumping one of their shittier characters into it. So yeah, so basically, instead of it being just a mystery, instead of it being a mystery killer going and killing people on the set of an indie horror film, it's the Gingerdead man killing people on an indie horror studio lot where they're making multiple movies at once. That's literally the only fucking difference in terms of story. And yet, still, both this and Terror Firmer were able to take that promising premise and absolutely shit on it. However, Terror Firmer shit on it much less, but I'm gonna get to why this movie is so bad. So we have a premise which is promising, but apparently can never be made into a good movie. And character-wise, every single character, just like in the first one, are flat, lifeless, and just unlikable, just from fucking start to finish. The only thing we have which is even close to a likable character is the fucking Gingerdead man. That's it. And even he and you know, guys, in the first one he didn't really say a whole lot. You know, it basically is almost like the Gingerdead man was very well, he was mainly just there to kill. He wasn't there to be a snarky one fucking liner factory, and that's what they tried to do here. So every single time he talks, it is some kind of a play on pastry or baking or cookies, and it's bullshit. It sucked. It was not clever. It was not good. Guys, I really never want to watch another movie with this fucking character, because counting in his cameo in Evil, Bong, I've seen 3 movies with this fucking character, and I haven't liked him in a single goddamned one. So yeah, oh boy. So what about all of the other characters? Were any of them good? No, not even fucking close. Because, again, everybody here is just these flat, lifeless characters. Most of them are playing stereotypes. Example, we have the gay... So we have the gay stylist, and I mean ridiculously gay. So fucking flaming that he'll probably set off, smoke alarms. That is just how gay this, stylist is. And we have the washed up, and we have the washed up starlet who's trying to sleep with the young actor, and the young actor is just trying to get a break, and it's just more and more and more bullshit that we've seen dozens of other times in dozens of other movies, but done far better in every single one of them. This movie didn't even have a fucking chance, guys. I'll be flat out on that in terms of writing. Dialogue-wise, besides every character having not a fucking drop of likable personality, a lot of them will also take constant shots at the writing itself. You would not believe exactly how many times you would hear people comment about how fucking ugly the puppets are. The puppets which are being used in one of the films the studio was shooting, or just how absolutely contrived just things going on are, such as the prop satanic spell book that the studio's had since the 50s, which apparently is an actual satanic spell book apparently. It's just, and you will hear people comment on these things, and they make very direct references. It's like, guys, you do not want to be that blatant when you're talking about how absolutely god-awful the film that you yourself are working on is, alright? It's just bad. So, yeah, we have all that going on. Really, guys, writing is where this thing faltered the most. Well, I would say that, but then there's the acting, which is ridiculous. Well, okay, the acting here, it hits two fucking extremes. Every single actor is either incredibly wooden or hammy to the point where even I don't fucking like it. And you don't want to hit either one of those ends. Nobody here knows how to be subtle. Nobody here knows how to be, just slightly hammy. No. We either are talking we are talking Bob fucking Newhart Wooden or Daniel fucking Day-Lewis Ham. It's just, no, you don't want to hit those two extremes. It's bullshit, okay? So yeah, guys, the acting here is fucking terrible. And yes, I just took another shot at Daniel fucking Day-Lewis. I really wish that people would understand he needs to learn how to fucking act. Anyway, wow. Camera work is okay. Lighting here is okay. Special effects. Blood effects are done very, very well. But again, we have a problem involving the Gingerdead Man puppet himself. And it is that, when you have your puppet and you're trying to make them talk, you cannot just have them randomly flapping and hope and pray that it matches the mouth flapping, and hope and pray that it matches what is being said. It looks ridiculously amateurish and just looks horrible. While I'm on the subject of mouths not matching dialogue, whoever looped in dialogue for this thing really should learn. The object of looping in dialogue is so that way it looks as if it was shot on site, but it isn't. You normally are looping in dialogue in order to cover, like, background noise and shit like that. And this movie didn't do that. There are constant times when you will see an actor on camera talking and their dialogue in no way matches, and it looks almost like a foreign film. And the last time I checked, this movie was an American release shot in English. There is no fucking excuse for dialogue to be that far off from the mouth movements, okay? It's just absolutely unacceptable. Now, with all of that in mind, all right, with all of those problems, it's still better than the first one, because, god damn it, that first one was such a pile of shit. But yet still, this thing borders on unfucking watchable. I would love it if somebody, just somewhere, could give me a fucking example of a killer on a movie set that's actually good. Because this thing sucked, and so did Terror, and so did Terror Firmer, and god damn it, that is such an interesting premise. Why the fuck can't anybody make it good? Oh boy, well... So, when all is said and done, can I recommend Gingerdead Man 2, The Passion of the Crust? No. However, if I were forced to tell you, if I were forced to tell you which fucking one is better between this one or the first, most certainly this one. It is leaps and bounds better, but that isn't saying much. And the fact that I despised this thing kind of sort of punctuates that a little bit. Now, Gingerdead Man 2, The Passion of the Crust came off of the Amazon wish list. The person who sent it in is named Mage. You can find her channel at youtube.com/user/MadamCrystal. And Mage, thank you. Because, well, at least one of these was, well, at least it had a good premise. and hell, I was always curious. I was always curious about these. I had no idea if they were any good. I do know that there's a third film in this series, but after watching these, I don't think I'm going to watch the third one. I really do genuinely believe that Full Moon would have to pay me to fucking watch the third one. That much is just, oh my god, this thing was terrible. And yet still better than the first one. That is still absolutely shocking. But anyway, guys, wow. Thank God I'm done with both of these. And hopefully the Gingerdead Man isn't going to crop up in any more movies this month. I have 2 more, so anything is fucking possible. So yes, guys, with that we come to the close of another reaction and review. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, take care, and I will see you all in the near future. Peace.